We're starting today's video with a loud rule that everyone, from children to various groups, must follow. If you take on a task, finish it. And it's the same here. If Ukrainian drones have taken on the elimination of personnel, they will finish what they started, even when it is necessary to shoot twice. Many wounded, or those pretending to be wounded, lie out in the open on the ground and expect not to be touched. But the reality is that for Ukrainian operators, these people are unworthy of living. So if there is the slightest chance that the person lying there will get up, the drones will destroy that chance. If not now, then later, like in this video. It looked as if an enemy vehicle had been hit, and as if there were personnel wounded, but the others fled. More precisely, they started to run. At least until they heard other drones, they decided to check the condition of the vehicle and the wounded. However, none of the above would start moving on their own, so they had to choose between two options. First, to walk along the road they were supposed to drive on and become literally an exposed moving target for drones. Second, to stay and wait for help, risking themselves. They chose the second option, but from the very beginning it was obvious this was only an illusion of choice, because the outcome would be the same. But they were lucky. Reinforcements came for them and sent them off to the next world. And in fact, the Russian soldiers only helped, because besides the personnel mentioned, an additional driver with an extra vehicle was destroyed. A different but very similar situation occurred when Russian soldiers were moving along a rather similar road, and on the roadside there was even a similar vehicle, similar because it too had been destroyed. They were moving quite confidently up to a certain moment, until one of them was hit by a drone. The second one paused briefly, of course making sure he was safe, stood there for a while, looked at his comrade, and thought there was nothing more he could do to help him. So he moved on, but as was already mentioned, if you're not ready to finish what you started, don't even begin. And so the second drone deliberately tracked the motorcyclist, and when his guard was at its lowest, the drone struck, finishing what had been started. Oh no, this Russian soldier is still a very, very long way from baseball. All the more so since his career ended right there before it even began. But this moment isn't about sport or unfulfilled dreams. It's about being set up by his own friends. Although I'd say it's less about a setup and more about the cowardice that let an entire group down. If you use camouflage correctly, a person literally disappears into the air, but only until they start to move. Likewise, in this video, the drones were most likely already informed about the position and number of Russians, but the key moment came when one tried to run, which brought a strike, and then three more. And who knows whether anyone would have been helped if he had stayed in the shadow of the grass, or whether it was inevitable no matter how you look at it. But why guess when the overall picture remains exactly what you just saw? After that, the whole group was destroyed, and despite some individuals still trying to hide, they were noticed and eliminated with terrifying precision. But today, as always, the targets are not only people. They are also wheels, engines, and the roads that make movement possible. Some may say vehicles are just metal and plastic, but to a soldier, a vehicle is more than a machine. It's a chance to escape, a chance to change course, a chance to help a comrade. So when transport is destroyed, it's not merely debris on a road, it's opportunities lost. Mobility is life. Without it, a withdrawal plan becomes a fantasy. In the footage you saw, the logic is straightforward. If the enemy cannot move quickly, they are vulnerable. Drones remove that basic factor. They deny the road as an avenue of escape. When a motorcycle races at full speed, that isn't a guarantee of survival. When a vehicle stops, it is not just a stop. It is the end of hope. And this is not random. It's a deliberate sequence. Displace, disorient, remove options. No less important is the psychological effect. When a unit knows its transport can be targeted, every step becomes cautious and hesitant. Confidence turns into doubt, and doubt into unwillingness to take risks. This works not only against one fighter, it shatters a team, forces them to reduce initiative, and alters planning. So the aim is not merely to strike. The aim is to force the enemy to abandon mobility, to deprive them of simple choices, to make the road neither comfortable nor safe. And as long as they remain on this land, their relative security is an illusion. Every frame demonstrates that wheels that stop, headlights that go out, people who can no longer move, teaches one simple rule: mobility is everything, and losing it is the end of the game. And the final fragment for today will be night footage of the unprecedented destruction of hiding spots that very likely serve as shelters for Russian soldiers. It is also possible that these are small combat bunkers, since the explosions are so powerful that anyone within a radius of up to 10 meters dies instantly. So let's look at the large plumes of fire after the explosions. And thank you for watching.